And good evening, and welcome on into the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, home of CHKD Sports Medicine, as high school football is back, folks, as we've got a good Week 1 matchup for you tonight between the Isle of Wight Chargers and the Atlantic Shores Seahawks. I'm Jack Lowe, joined alongside by Matt Hatfield, publisher of VirginiaPreps.com. Matt, it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Jack, it's great to be with you. It's always, the weather's just gorgeous out of here. It's not even in the 80s or 90s. The heat index is tolerable. It feels like fall weather, and we're ready to get this rocking and rolling. Seahawks of Atlantic Shore 7-4 last year. Wayne Lance has a ton of talent on this team. Isle of Wight trying to improve from last year, just going 1-7, and the fans are excited that we've got the gridiron action back with us here. High school's underway. Colleges start tomorrow. The pros will be here soon, and we'll have a wall-to-wall coverage for you from now until state championship Saturday in December here on Cova Sports TV.
Absolutely. Could not be more excited for this fall. Whether it's VHSL football or the private school football, there's a lot of amazing teams this year, ranging from every division, and could not be more excited for it. We're getting set to kick off here, as Isle of Wight will be kicking to Atlantic Shores. Next return for Atlantic Shores, number 2, Corey Elijah Williams, as well as Chris Higgins, I believe.
Yeah, Chris Higgins, for folks that don't know, is committed to William & Mary to play his college football. What a decorated athlete he is. We watched him dazzle last year. Got Player of the Week from our friends at Chicho's Pizza once last year. 66 catches, 1,036 yards, 15 TDs on offense, 3 picks on defense, and he's going to probably play defense for Mike London at the Tribe.
Yes, he is. That kick fielded by number 12, Campbell Clark, who is a senior playing his final season, along with a couple other receivers for Atlantic Shores, a pretty loaded receiving corps, including him, Chris Higgins, as we just mentioned, Tyler Craig, and Christian Franks. They're going to get the ball at about the 41-yard line.
Well, and the key, Jack, for folks that haven't watched Atlantic Shores play before, Wayne Lance wants to have a tempo style, sometimes no huddle, and operate quickly before defenses can get set. They've got pretty manageable field position from their own 41. And, folks, we don't have the scoreboard officially up tonight, so we're going to try to give you some time as we move along here with the score. Just 6 seconds into the first quarter, you got trips to the left, one receiver to the right, and they might be attacking down the field here quickly.
You said it. Jack Weaver in the backfield with Michael Lance. Michael Lance is going to drop back to pass, and he's looking deep. Chris Higgins, and it's not going to be complete.
Pretty good coverage over top there from Jack Baker, number 21. He's the senior safety for them, and Atlantic Shores will hit that post route. They'll also use the slots very well, move people in space, and they want to keep the defense guessing to where Higgins is. So don't expect him to line up in the same spot throughout this game. Move him around a little bit because he is their dynamic force and weapon from the outside.
Looks like we're going to go shotgun again. Weaver to the right. Seemed to be a great running back for the Seahawks last year.
Tell you what, he got a lot of carries. There were some games he got 25, 30-plus carries. In fact, ended up leading the team in rushing, 935 and 10 TDs on the year.
Lance looking deep to Chris Higgins again, and he's going to catch that one. Almost with one hand, brought it in with the second.
Double coverage, didn't matter. He still was able to maintain possession there and bring it down to the turf, and here they are just knocking on the door of the red zone, Jack.
Yes, indeed. I mean, we said it before the game, before we went on the air. They're gonna attack with Chris Higgins very early in the game, and they've already thrown 2 deep passes to him, 1 caught, 1 incomplete, and they're ready to roll here in that no huddle you were just talking about.
Yeah, they don't want to let Isle of Wight make some changes or disguise things. They want to keep them on their toes, guessing and get them out of position.
Play fake here, and the pass is caught. That's Corey Elijah Williams, and he's going to get himself a good gain there.
Yeah, following up the 36-yard grab for Higgins, Corey Williams is going to put it inside the 5 all the way down to the 2 as they're knocking on the door yet again. The offense with another big play as they want to stretch the field and really wear out this secondary of Isle of Wight in a hurry.
So it'll be shotgun once again for the Seahawks. And the Chargers bunched up big time on defense. Michael Lance going to drop back, and he has a man, and it's complete for a touchdown. I believe that's Christian Franks, the senior.
It is, and for Christian Franks, that's a good way to get your final season in Atlantic Shores uniform off to a good start here. And his first touchdown didn't, see the field offensively a year ago. Great start for them. They get it done in literally 4 plays and did it in just 1 minute and 5 seconds to march. 59 yards? Not too shabby.
Yeah, did not take long, so they're going to be in field goal formation. Michael Lance going to be the holder. Extra point is up. And it's good.
Wasn't the prettiest of kicks, but it gets the job done, and that's all you ask for. Get the snap, get the hold, and away you go, up 7-0.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick timeout here. Atlantic Shores leads 7-0. Let's hear from AstroTurf. All right. So much easier with the second person.
I'll use some of the comments. Don't worry
Awesome.
about what we interact with Caden Beatty.
We're playing
People
commercials
like
there,
that, yeah.
yes. Probably going to come right back after AstroTurf. You ready? And we're back here live from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, home of CHKD Sports Medicine, as we bring to you the Isle of Wight Academy, taking on the Atlantic Shores Seahawks. Atlantic Shores marched down the field very quickly with a deep pass to Chris Higgins, as well as one to Corey Elijah Williams, and then the touchdown pass.
Yeah, Christian Franks capping it off, Jack, and pretty good start for them. 4 plays, 59 yards, a minute 04. And look who's tuning in with us on Cova Sports TV. Caden Beatty, the former defensive lineman, standout. Started early, fellas, he says. We appreciate Caden for checking out the action. He was a great young man to watch, and prior to going to Kent State to play for the Golden Flashes in the MAC, 97 tackles, 65 for loss, 19 sacks, 7 forced fumbles as a senior for Wayne Lance and the crew. And so we kick off. The return not very far for Isle of Wight. It looks like we got some laundry on the field, a penalty on that play, Jack. Atlantic Shores with their blue unis, the white numerals, Isle of Wight in the white jerseys with the red trim, and the sun setting here tonight. Just a beautiful night for football here in late August in Virginia Beach.
Absolutely. Jack Baker on the return there for the Chargers, and he didn't get very far. We'll see what the flag is. Looks like it's going to be against the Seahawks, and they're moving up quite a bit.
I think they got him on a face mask there, so that's going to march it upwards inside the 20, well, close to the 30-yard line at 26, it appears, for Isle of Wight's first series. And right now, Coach Dale Chapman's just looking for something to slow the tempo down here with 10:43 to go in this first quarter.
Yeah, a shotgun look for Isle of Wight, as I was getting ready to say. They definitely don't want to try and run with that Atlantic Shores if that first position didn't teach you anything, as the quarterback's going to drop back and throw an incompletion targeted for Jack Baker, who just returned the kick.
Surprised they didn't start out with a run here, and we'll see what Atlantic Shores does defensive if they mix some things up, blitz-wise, coverage-wise, on that defensive front. Keep an eye out for 2 of those young men on the line. Number 55 and number 53 you see on your screen. 55, Josh Long, he's a 6'3", 250-pound junior defensive end. And 53, Travion Morgan, senior at 5'10", 222. Undersized types. They're not the, what you would call the hallmark, big-time, heavily recruited player like a Beatty was, or even Nathaniel McDonald last year. But they have some guys that have really been working hard this offseason to collapse the pocket, also defend the run really well. They're going to go to 3 receivers to the near side here.
It's going to be a handoff, and that's going to be for a couple yards there for Trent Harrison. And that's going to bring up a very early 3rd and long for the Chargers. Oh, it was a fumble.
They're going to give them the recovery. The first turnover, not what Isle of Wight wanted there. Put the ball on the carpet. Now you're giving Atlantic Shores a short field to work with. That is the worst case scenario.
Campbell Clark on the recovery. And Atlantic Shores looking to go up 2 possessions already.
Strong safety, Clark, reading things well defensively, and here they are with 10:34 to go in the first quarter, looking to add to this lead.
Once again, a shotgun look for the Seahawks. They haven't abandoned it yet. Trips to the right. Lance drops back, and he looks deep. And that's going to be incomplete, almost picked off there by Jason Chapman. It looked like it was a fake wide receiver screen to Chris Higgins, as he gets a lot of the attention from all the corners and safeties. They kept him short, tried to go deep, and it wasn't there.
Yeah, you see, this is a game where they want to get Micah Lance just feeling really good early on and get him in a groove. And at this particular moment, Olive White's going to have to do some things defensively. Pick your poison. You want to sim pressure, or you want to drop an extra guy in coverage, because the way they're set up, it's very favorable for Atlantic Shores' receivers and the way they want to operate through the air. Now they got a pretty good look. They can try to get Jack Weaver involved in the running game, but you like the collection of defensive front players for Olive White to get that stop, including the likes of Grayson Brock, we've called already, a senior wearing number 11, and David Gutierrez, the sophomore, sort of a deep tackle, D-end hybrid at 300 pounds. They don't have a lot of 300-pounders on their roster, but when you have one like that, you want to use him and make him a big luxury.
Seahawks once again going from the shotgun. That was Weaver's first carry, I believe. We'll see if they want to go back to him. It's about 3rd and medium. Snap, play fake to Weaver. Lance looks to the left side of the field, and he has Higgins complete for a first down and more. Going to be all the way up to about the 9-yard line.
And for any youngsters out there, just watch the route running of Chris Higgins on that play. It's just an out pattern to the sideline, but keep the feet in bounds, concentrate on the reception, and make it work. And he did that to perfection there. You see why he's such a valuable tool for this offense and team in general, as he picked up 15 yards, well, almost 15, give him about 14, and made it look effortless.
Effortless is a good word there as Lance drops back from the shotgun, and it's going to be a little bubble screen. So Jack Weaver, he's a little bit of the edge, and he will get to the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. And that'll be Weaver's first touchdown of the game.
You know, he had 10 rushing scores last year, Jack, with 7 games of 100-plus yards on the ground. Also had 1 receiving score, so he's already matched his receiving count here. If you give him a little dump off, throw him in the flat. That's like in the Madden video game. The kids put it out there, hit the not the B button, I guess. You hit the little back in the flat there, and away he goes for 9 yards. So Jack Weaver making it happen, not just running the ball, but catching out of the backfield. Maybe a new element to this offense this season as they try to make some noise via ISAA Division II and be playoff bound after just narrowly missing out a season ago. And the PAT is going to be up and through, so 2 for 2 for the kicker tonight.
You said it, and we're going to take another time out here and hear from some more of our sponsors that make it possible for us to do this here at the Sportsplex. Let's hear from CHKD Sports Medicine. Let's see, do I have a lead for CHKD? Yep. Yeah, I just said screw sats. I missed it.
I got it. We're good.
Yeah.
With a
CHKD Sports Medicine. Whether your child is competing as part of a football team, likes to ride a bike, or is on the road to Olympic glory, the multidisciplinary team at the CHKD Sports Medicine program is dedicated to the comprehensive treatment of illness and injury in pediatric and college athletes. CHKD Sports Medicine. Back to kick here for Atlantic Shores is Campbell Clark. That one fielded by the Chargers, and he'll be brought down. We got a flag on the field, ball around the 20-yard line.
And the first penalty was on Atlantic Shores tonight, and Olive White cannot shoot themselves in the foot with any miscues in the form of penalties. And this is going to be important. They have a bunch of freshmen and sophomores on this roster, Jack, and even an 8th grader can play up. Jim Brown, number 16, not kin to the late great running back from the Cleveland Browns fame, for those wondering. But you see the roster's not as deep as some other teams that they'll face on their schedule in private school action. It's going to end up pushing them back closer to their end, it does appear. The official's going to mark this one off half the distance, 10 yards from the 20 to the 10. So you begin your second series, not favorable field position, and it puts you in more of a bind.
So the Chargers starting deep in their own territory. It's going to be a shotgun look for them, running back to the right. And it's going to be a handoff, and he will go nowhere, maybe a yard if anything.
Tell you what, Campbell Clark is flying around out there, number 12 for Atlantic Shores. Also Josh Longan on that stop, but tough setup inside your own 10, and if you drop back here and shotgun, now it allows Atlantic Shores to tee off and come right after your quarterback, and it could be disastrous. So the protection is paramount here.
Yeah, Jack Baker on the carry there, and it's going to be second down and long for the Chargers. Quarterback's going to drop back, look across the middle for a slant, and it's nowhere to be found. I believe it was intended for number 7, Ian Upton.
Yeah, you just got rid of that one a little too quick, but sometimes that pressure bearing down on you can cause that to happen. They were in the shotgun look with the one back. Atlantic Shores with the 4 down lineman. And I think if he just takes one extra step back at the quarterback spot, he's got a little time to operate there and deliver that one. But again, sometimes early jitters, first game of the season, you're going to have that.
And just like that, we've got another 3rd and very long for the Chargers. They might be running a give-up play here in a single back formation. It's going to be a fake toss. Quarterback's going to roll out to the left. And he's got his man, and it's complete. Number 11, Grayson Brock. That was a great play. A little trickery there, and they're going to get the first down.
I love that there. You see some nimble footwork there as he faked the pitch out, went down the field, and good chunk of yardage on that.
Hey, I mean, he faked me out. I called before the play. They might be running a give-up play here, single back, but sure enough, faked the toss and had the man wide open downfield, the tight end. So now we're going to get the quarterback all by himself in the shotgun, 5 wide, and he looks quick for a wide receiver screen at number 81. And he's got a little bit of room, but he's only going to pick up about 1.5 yards.
Corey Elijah Williams was quick there on the outside of reading it. They get that big chunk of yardage, 20 on the pickup. This time they want to bite down, and you could see some different looks defensively. They might send a defensive back on a blitz, read one of those screens, and you could have a house call potentially. But Isle of Wight right now, they want to get this tempo slowed down, which is they're starting to do a little bit of, and make it very difficult for the Seahawks who want to get moving, go, go, go. And now get a little antsy. You never know, this could be a one-score game all of a sudden when Atlantic Shores was off and running.
Split back for the Chargers is going to be a handoff once again to Jack Baker, and he's going to be met at the line by a handful of Seahawks. And this Atlantic Shores defensive line has seemed to be very effective thus far.
Yeah, get multiple hats, a bunch of blue jerseys flying to the football, whether it's upfield, sideline to sideline, know your keys, and that time ended up losing a couple on that. That was Baker, right?
Yes.
So it puts them now on the night for negative yardage rushing, and
all by himself in the shotgun, drops back, and an incomplete pass. Not the best ball there to number 1, Trent Harrison.
yeah, throwing it to the opposite sideline area, and even if he completes that, it's hard to see that moving the sticks for them. So 2 for 6 through the air for 21 yards passing. And they've had 3 rushes and not gained anything on the ground there. So at this point, it's important at 3rd down you don't get off the field, make this 3 and out. Now Atlantic Shores continues to just go pedal to the metal. And they're going to get good field position here unless this punter is able to boom it 30, 40 yards.
Wasn't an awful punt. It'll be received and met right where he caught it, number 2, Corey Elijah Williams. And good job by the special teams there for Isle of Wight. But they're going to need a little more than special teams to get back in this game.
They will, and when you have players like a Grayson Brock who has to fill a variety of roles, play some tight end, play some defenseman. Oh, by the way, the long snapper. I heard one of the public school coaches, Hank Sawyer, who's won a trio of state titles at Lake Taylor, tell me he had a kid a few years ago, Javon Harvey, who went to Old Dominion, and now Javon is playing his college football at Duke, I believe it is. He had to play like 6 or 7 different positions. So if he goes out with injury, it's not just an offense guy, defense guy. Some of these players, especially the smaller schools, it'd be lower level VHSL or your VISA private schools, they play 6, 7 positions because special teams, they might have 2 or 3 different roles. Hold the ball like a holder or a long snapper. It can be tricky if you lose one of those key guys.
Absolutely. Michael Lance sitting in the shotgun here. He's going to drop back once again, and he's looking deep, and that's going to be overthrown to Corey Elijah Williams once again. And not quite finding the sweet spot there.
5 of 8 for 82 yards, a couple of touchdowns, 1 to Weaver, 1 to Franks. But if you're Isle of Wight here, you want to make Atlantic Shores be patient and take small chunks. Don't hit you for that big down the field vertical shot, which they're trying to get through the posts or go routes. and make them have to convert second and mediums, third and longs, those type of plays to extend drives here because it takes longer for them to get points on the board.
Lance Short sticking with a shotgun. They've got receivers on either side of the field. Lance drops back.
Oh.
And wide open. And it's dropped. Number 10, Christian Franks, who already had one touchdown this game, was wide open on the fade down the left side of the sideline.
Tell you what, Baker was very fortunate there because he put down on that play instead of dropping in coverage, and he just breezed right by him. He is breathing a sigh of relief because he dodged a major bullet. That could have been a touchdown from 50-plus yards out for the Seahawks.
Would have looked really good on Michael Lance's stat sheet, huh?
Would have looked good on his stat sheet and also on the highlight reel, both the QB and the receiver. But unfortunately, they'll end up taking that and probably chopping it off the huddle reel.
You got that right. Once again, similar formation to the previous play. It's going to be 3rd and long for the Seahawks. Opportunity here for Isle of Wight. Lance drops back. Looks across the middle. He has Chris Higgins, and he has the first down and a lot more. He's going to get the edge and keep moving. Break a tackle. We got 2 flags on the field as he runs out of bounds. We'll see what these are.
Oh, it's going to bring it back.
Blocking the back on the offense, and looks like we're going to have to. Looks like they're going to have to replay this 3rd down. Great play for Atlantic Shores there, but penalties will kill you. It doesn't matter how good of a football team you are. If you're not disciplined, you're not going to go anywhere. So it looks like we're going to have 3rd and short, 3rd and about 3.
So it's a 10-yard penalty, right? I believe that's right.
Yes. It's going to be trips to the right.
Higgins caught that, right? Just making sure my numbers are right.
Yes.
I'm going to short him his receiving yardage that he so badly covets after having 1,000 yards a season ago. If my numbers are right, which they might not be, he's up to 67 on 3 grabs this evening.
Right.
We'll go with it.
Trips to the right for the Seahawks. The handoff to Jack Weaver, and he's going to be short. In fact, the ball comes out, and Isle of Wight is all over it. Weaver was definitely not down. That's a clean fumble. And a big defensive turnover there forced by the Chargers.
Really good job to strip that. Both 51 and 1 were on that play. Drake Williams will give him the force, and Trent Harrison recovering it for the Isle of Wight defense. And Weaver, more dependable than he doesn't usually put the ball on the carpet, and that's one that he'd like to have back, as it now gives Isle of Wight its best field position of the day.
So Isle of Wight with a little bit of an opportunity here at about the 50-yard line. They got shotgun formation, trips to the left. Quarterback drops back, looks, and will not be complete to number 7, Ian Upton.
At that time, just the length and size of Cameron Kent got in the way there, number 11 in coverage.
Something we're definitely noticing here with the Isle of Wight, when they do pass, they don't have much open. They've got to try and force these passes, and it's just not there, incomplete.
Probably wanted to see if he could let that one develop a little bit longer, but again, you're so cognizant of the pass rush coming down on you that it makes you get rid of that football a little quicker.
They've shown their defensive line has already been outstanding in the run game, and I'm sure they wouldn't hesitate to get their hands on their quarterback. Jason Chapman under center here. And it'll be a play fake. He rolls out to the left a little bit, and he has his tight end complete for a gain of some yards. That was Grayson Brock, who had the trick play earlier. Similar formation, just different play, and it seems as though when they go under center, they're trying to find him the ball.
Yeah, and it makes sense. They had the 20-yard gainer earlier, and they go that little bootleg waggle setup and puts them in now 3rd and medium, and now they're trying to get that clock moving. Yeah, try to get that clock moving, tick it in their favor to where they get to the end of the first quarter, and it's just a 1-score game. You know, keep it within striking distance, as they say.
Jason Chapman's going to be by himself in the backfield, 5 wide for the Chargers. And it looks like a design QB run. Chapman gets the edge, and he's going to get the first down.
I'm surprised Higgins just missed him there, Jack.
Yeah.
And usually Chris doesn't have that happen. I mean, he had good pursuit. He just didn't wrap him up. But Chapman, slippery out there, like a little greased pig. Yeah, a little greased pig almost. Just couldn't corral him. And however, it looked like they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
So is this 4-down territory?
I'm going to say he stepped out earlier. I'd like to get a replay of that. I'll have to check that out and see if he did step out. Yeah, you know what? He did step out. I watched the replay. That's a good call by the officials. Wow. He did step out. Didn't get much on that.
Looks like there's going to be I formation here. With 4th and medium, Atlantic Shore's looking like they're going to bring it.
See if you can get him to jump off sides. I'd maybe punt this ball.
QB sneak.
Yeah, and it's 4th down. If it's 3rd down to get a little closer, or 2nd down, I'd understand that, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't think I understand.
That may not have been the play call even, perhaps, and they just get a yard and give it. Now you give it right back to them near midfield. It was a little perplexing. I would have punted that away and tried to pin Atlantic Shores inside its own 20. Now I'm not sure how confident Coach Chapman and his staff are in the kicking game right now, but
what I don't understand is the QB sneak of all play. If you're going to go for it, you
would,
got
you
5
would do
yards
that
to
on
go.
2nd or 3rd down, or you go for a sneak on 4th and 1, not 4th and 5. But nonetheless, the Seahawks won't complain about it because it gets them closer to finding pay dirt again potentially if their offense can go back to work like it did its first 2 series.
Yeah, and I'm sure after the fumble there's going to be a little bit of frustration. They're going to want to score quickly. Jack Weaver looking to shake that one off here as he's going to line up in the backfield. We got an I formation look for the Seahawks. Look at that, different formation for him. They abandoned the shotgun.
Well, I think Weaver wants to tote the rock here and show what he's made of and be a punishing ball carrier.
Chargers bringing it, play fake. Lance looking deep. And that ball is caught. He's going to break the tackle. Touchdown Seahawks.
Yeah,
for Elijah Williams.
So much for that ground and pound idea. Just air it out. Play fake, play action, see if they pay attention to it, and go all the way down the field.
They heard you.
Yeah.
They had to call the audible. Out of the I formation. So that's twice this game from either team where you look at a run formation and the I formation, and they just absolutely – now, the first one wasn't as much of a deep play, but they absolutely aired out deep, and it works out beautifully for them.
And Corey Williams right on cue there, stepping up. He had 40 grabs for 459 yards and 3 TDs last year at the receiver spot. Stepping into an even bigger role now because they did, have a couple of players that graduated that were in the senior class, but certainly he and Higgins, tough to defend all these pass-catching weapons they have. And with 4:42 to go in our opening quarter, Seahawks are off and running and cruising at this point.
And it is 21-0 Seahawks. Let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the gain.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Chicho's Pizza. Chicho's your way. 9 locations and counting. Pizza, wings, salads, wraps, and calzones. Come for the food, stay for the experience. Chicho's, food, family fun.
What are the odds that our great, hardworking staff behind the scenes, if they're watching or listening, the likes of the one and only Chuck Thornton, along with his sidekick partner in crime, Nick Senti, and maybe even Dennis McEwen, if he's working extra hours here, can get you, Jack Lowe, me, Matt Hatfield, and our trusty camera operator, Ethan Simon, some Chicho's Pizza before we depart tonight. I'm going to put it at less than 20%.
Less than 20%?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
Something if it's better than 20%.
If it happens.
I mean, listen, we don't have Ed Young here with us, which you can
We don't.
hear
Yeah, I mean,
here
if
on
he was
Saturdays.
here,
He'd eat all the pizza. He would ruin the fun.
Well, if he was here, I mean, he wouldn't work unless he was given the pizza.
You got that right.
Pass for
and he gets
the
it
Chargers.
for free. Hey, Brandon
and
Peterson.
He's met right back at the line. Trent Harrison.
Yeah, not much for Trent on that play. But Brandon Peterson, former Seahawk, watching, tuning in like Caden Beatty. I think Brandon's playing his college football at Christopher Newport. Brandon, if you're out there and listening, let me know if that's right. I hope I didn't mess that up. I think he's at CNU playing his college football.
CNU, they've been looking great in the football world over the last few years.
Listen, a lot of sports, not just football. They've competed in basketball, won a national championship in men's hoops a couple years ago, women's basketball. Other sports have been doing well. You think of baseball, softball. They got a great athletic program there at CNU. So shout out to them. And I think that's where Brandon is. So maybe he'll let us know. No gain on that, right? 2nd and 10.
No gain. And we got it is CNU football and track.
There we go. CNU football and track. We appreciate that, Brandon. Our man Woodrow Wagner tuning in as well. Loyal viewer and listener to 757 Saturday Sports Talk as well. We'll be talking all kinds of football coming up on Saturday's show on Cova Sports TV, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. as I get the shameless plug because I can. And here's a photo to the near side. Another nice completion, but the Atlantic Shores defense
and the
coming out
ball's
quickly.
Loose. Are they going to call him down? I was going to say.
Down, yeah. Home fans want to say he was still going, but he was down.
Yeah, he was down. But it is going to lead to another 3rd and very long for the Chargers. You think they're going to run that QB sneak here, Matt?
No.
So the Chargers going to have to dial up something big here as they trail 21-0 with just over 3 minutes to play in the first quarter.
And, you know, Isle of Wight got a good look. I think they scrimmaged Arcadia. Might have beaten them by a good amount in that. But Atlantic Shore is a different level for them in terms of speed and very organized right now defensively, making it hard for
– And their experience. They have a lot of seniors.
A lot of pieces back from last year's team that didn't quite fulfill its goals, had some success and quality moments, but they're hungry for more, and this is going to push Isle of Wight backwards.
It's going to back them up 5. And Chargers with the 3rd and very long here. It's going to that single back formation. You think this is going to go to the tight end again?
No, I think you want to get something probably to the outside.
Play fake.
Somewhat
Rolling out to the right. Chapman. The throw, and that's going to be incomplete, I believe.
And that's a dangerous throw. Going back across your body the other way into traffic, sometimes that can get intercepted if you're not careful.
And not enough reward for the risk. I mean, he only gained, about 5 yards, and they're going to have to punt anyways.
Well, now if you end up punting on that last sequence, it's a 14-0 ball game. They might hit the big play regardless, but now you're making this, you're playing uphill, and it just puts you in a bind. And the defense didn't get a lot of rest here. I know it was a quick drive.
And regardless of whether you punt or not, just a different play call. I know that I've said it a lot. It's really bothering me, though, that's what they drew up. And that's probably a miscommunication there. This punt it's going to be all right, actually. It's going to go out around the 41, 42-yard line.
Didn't get the favorable bounce as it ended up coming back the other direction.
But the 43-yard line is where they're going to mark it. Maybe the 44. We'll see what the referees do. But Atlantic Shores now has a chance to go up 28.
We can tell you, end of the first quarter, Norfolk Academy and Currituck County, I think they're playing in North Carolina tonight. It's scoreless between those two, so no points yet on the board for that one. But Coach Moniker got a good program yet again.
I believe that's about all the other action we got across
as far as
the
I know.
757.
Yep.
I've looked at some schools in North Carolina, some schools nowhere near the 757, not much here.
Beach District on Thursday, folks. Games are going to kick off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. You have Princess Anne at Bayside, Cox at Lansdowne, Tallwood at Green Run, who's won 33 in a row in the Beach. Kellum is traveling to First Colonial, Kempsville hosting Salem. A lot of good games in the Beach coming up on Thursday and all across the 757. We'll tell you more about those on Cova Sports TV this weekend and our football preview show coming up on Monday.
Absolutely. You have an idea where you're going to be next Thursday?
Have not decided. I'm going to flip a coin, I think.
Flip a coin. Michael Lance drops back, and he has his man complete, number 6, Joshua Sibley. We saw him a lot last year. He hasn't been much involved tonight so far. I believe that's his first reception of the game.
It is, and Sibley, like you said, Jack, really involved this season ago. 32 catches for 447 yards, 6 TDs. He's got some run after the catch ability, too, and that one's going to pick up about 18 yards, put him in the stat column. You know these receivers have competition to see who can get the most yardage, but I got news for them all. I think it's going to be Chris Higgins at the end of the day. Napoleon Dynamite, as he's known as.
Unless, you know, you don't want to risk an injury, he comes out early.
And
this one is Jack Weaver, and he's got a lot of room, and it's going to be an easy walk-in touchdown. A little bit of frustration there after the fumble early. I'm sure he's happy to achieve that one.
Yeah, a little hesitation move, and then he said, not this time. You're not getting me. You're not wrapping me up. Going to the house.
And that puts up Atlantic Shores 4 possessions with the extra point pending. And this one's getting ugly really quickly. Just under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Extra point formation. Kick is up. And it's good. So Atlantic Shores goes up 28-0 with 1 minute 58 seconds to play here in the first quarter. We're going to take another quick timeout, hear from a couple of our sponsors, and be back with you after this.
Treat yourself to a visit to the Drip Bar IV Hydration and Vitamin Therapy in Virginia Beach. Boost your immunity, increase your energy, and promote anti-aging with our personalized treatments designed to ensure efficient nutrition absorption to rejuvenate your mind and body. Come see our chic and relaxing day spa for yourself today. We welcome walk-ins and appointments. Our medical professionals will help you achieve your best health and answer all your questions. The Drip Bar at Lansdowne Commons in Virginia Beach.
Back here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex alongside Jack Lowe, it's Matt Hatfield as Olive Wight Academy returns the ensuing kickoff after Atlantic Shores' 4th touchdown up to their own 25-yard line with Jack Baker. And you just heard from the Drip Bar, which specializes in IV vitamin therapy, IM shots, halotherapy, and hydrofacials. The average person can only absorb 20 to 50% of vitamins they take by mouth, but through IV, the absorption is nearly 100%. They take care of clients with all kinds of needs and side effects to provide an energy boost. Even athletes to supportive therapy for cancer patients. There's something for everyone at the Drip Bar. We thank them for their support of all of the streaming activity we bring in, whether it be live games, football, soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, and our podcast too. With a minute 53 to go in our first quarter, Jack, at the 26-yard line now for the Chargers. What do they do here at this point to try to claw themselves back in it? Because they're searching for answers right now and just trying to stop the bleeding.
I mean, the thing is, it's still the first quarter. It feels like it's late in the second quarter and it's a blowout. I mean, it is a blowout, but I don't say you give up yet and start running the clock. You still play competitive. You go with the same game plan you came into the game with, as it's going to be a play fake. Chapman, he's going to be sacked for a loss of quite a bit. But you got to keep playing. You don't give up yet. You run some plays, maybe get a nice play downfield and get yourself 6.
Well, right now, this pass rush for Atlantic Shores giving some fits to the offensive line. You saw it just collapse there and didn't have a lot of room to operate with. And at this point, they've got to figure out some things up front to give them any chance, whether it be running or passing the football in this one.
Isle of Wight trying to figure something out here.
And it's little things, too, because you got to get yourself set up in a line properly. We saw a young man running off the field late a little while ago.
And a handoff here to Jack Baker, and he's going to pick up a couple yards, maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he will. It's going to be 3rd and very long once again.
You know, once you see number 55 for Atlantic Shores really bearing down on them, even in the run game, Josh Long, he's starting to make a name for himself tonight, the 6'3", 250-pound junior.
Yeah, I don't think I remember seeing him much last year.
Only about a yard there for Baker, if that. And maybe formation-wise, try a couple of different things. They're going to go to doubles here, 2 receivers on each side.
Shotgun here. Receiver goes in motion. We're going to need a flag, and it's going to have something to do with the motion, I think.
He's going to push them back 5.
False start. So 3rd and even longer. And now is the kind of play where, do you want to really try? You're just going to run the ball, don't risk a turnover, and just punt it away.
Well, the one thing about that is it almost has a defeated type mentality to it, but they have to gain some confidence. So whether you're running or passing, you've got to look for, what they say, small victories to get yourself, okay, you're probably not going to win this football game right now, down 28-0 with under a minute to go in the first quarter, barring something miraculous, unforeseen here. But what can you use as win this play, something positive on this play that can lead into the next play or the next series?
Looks like we're going to have a timeout for the Chargers. So once again, we're going to take a timeout with them and hear from some more of our sponsors.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
We've got 16 ticks left in our first quarter at Harold Hushover Field, the Virginia Beach Sportsplex with Jack Lowe. I am Matt Hatfield. Atlantic Shores cruising in this one over the Chargers of Isle of Wight Academy. Season opener for the private schools tonight. And Jack, the guys in the striped shirts, they don't get enough credit, but you've got the names for them. Let's shout them out.
I do have the names. The official referee, Stephen Williams. The umpire, Bob Good. Linesman, Greg Howes. Line judge, Jamie Lloyd. Side judge, David Hall Sr. Field judge, John Coram. Back judge, Ronald Prunty. And the clock operator tonight, which never gets any love, David Moore.
Hand off to the right. They get a few yards back.
Like the give-up play, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a punt here.
And that was number 1 on that carry, Trent Harrison, as he gained maybe, give him about 6 to 7 yards on that, but it's not enough to move the sticks, and they'll be punting it on 4th down. We come back after the break. Actually got close to the 20 there on that.
Treat yourself to a visit to the Drip Bar IV Hydration and Vitamin Therapy in Virginia Beach. Boost your immunity, increase your energy, and promote anti-aging with our personalized treatments designed to ensure efficient nutrition absorption to rejuvenate your mind and body. Come see our chic and relaxing day spa for yourself today. We welcome walk-ins and appointments. Our medical professionals will help you achieve your best health and answer all your questions. The Drip Bar at Lansdowne Commons in Virginia Beach.
And we're back here live from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, home of CHKD Sports Medicine. The Lake Shore's dominating here throughout the first quarter. They lead 28-0. We start the second quarter here with a 4th down with the Chargers, I'm assuming, looking like a punt formation. It'd be quite silly to not.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think you want to try anything that's a fake that blows up in your face.
Not from this long.
Almost like
not from this far away, from this deep in your own territory.
You watch those Acme cartoons where they had the Bugs Bunny, the thing blows up in your face, he opens the box. That would be that at this point. You don't want to do that. It would be bad.
Snap and the punt, and it's going to be blocked and picked up by a Seahawks. It looked like it was picked up by Campbell Clark, knocked down by number 55, Josh Long, And another special teams win for the Seahawks.
Yeah, they're 4 for 4 on extra points tonight. They haven't had any real significant snafus that have cost them points or significant field position. And here you go, Clark stepping up. We've called out his name a few different times. It looks like he's going to be an unsung hero for Wayne Lance's bunch on their title quest here in 2024.
Yeah, and he is an absolute unit. 6'1", 221 pounds at running back. And, you know, putting him in that linebacker position, he can lay some hard hits. And I've seen him drop back in the pass coverage game, too, so he's definitely a good hybrid they have to use.
Really is. Hey, we've got an update. 7-0, Currituck leads Norfolk Academy on a 38-yard touchdown pass with 3:14 to go in the first half. Thanks to my guy Bill down there in North Carolina for passing on the update to me.
Shotgun look for the Seahawks. Micah Lance looking to add on to that stat sheet. They put Higgins in motion, a bubble screen to Higgins, and he has plenty of room, and he's going to dance on into the touchdown. However, there's a flag on the field, and it looks like it might be a hold.
Will it matter? We're about to find out.
It will be a hold on the offense, so that's going to back him up. No touchdown for Chris Higgins.
You know what's sad about that? I was just getting ready to say with Chris Higgins, he was getting higgy with it on that touchdown. You like that? Getting higgy? Ethan looks at me like, what?
like it,
really?
like
getting higgy with it? No, I don't like that.
I messed with it.
Yeah. Didn't work. Fell flat on his face. Yeah, didn't work.
It'll be first down once again for the Seahawks. They're going to back it up some. It'll be 1st and goal from...
Were y'all even around for getting jiggy with it, Will Smith? I don't even know if y'all are around for that. That might be
I
before y'all's
know
time.
it.
Okay.
I know it. I don't know if I was technically around for it.
All right.
Ball will be placed at about the 15.5-yard line. Looks like we have trips to the left, filled with Corey Elijah Williams, Chris Higgins in the slot, and I believe that is also Christian Franks, who had a touchdown and also dropped what could arguably have been a touchdown. Mike Lance going to drop back here. He's looking to the left.
Oh.
No, down the middle. Chris Higgins is that post route that he said he likes. Touchdown.
Just well designed, executed, and they get it done. I mean, piece of cake.
Now on our, not to plug here, but to plug 757 Saturday Sports Talk Show, we air every Saturday. You got to talk with Chris a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, and one of the things I remember he talked about, he loves them post routes, huh?
He does. It's something that's a strength of his in this offense.
He likes it better than the streaks.
Yeah, I think they're going to continue to utilize that until defenses can adjust and stop. And right now, the personnel's just not in place for Olive Wight to keep them from attacking them. You know, as they say, where it's sore itches, you go right at it. And they're doing that tonight consistently in this ballgame.
The extra point is good. We'll keep it right here, but I mean, let's talk about this really quick. So we finished up the first quarter. Very early in the second quarter, after the block punt, Atlantic Shores leads 35-0, which means we should have a running clock starting soon, I believe, according to the rules.
Well, sometimes it doesn't go into effect, be it public or private, until after halftime. So
Okay.
we'll see if they decide to do that before halftime in this situation. Both teams, I imagine, have to agree upon it.
Yes, we'll see. But I mean, obviously, it's just been an amazing showing for Atlantic Shores thus far. Olive Wight, they got a lot of work to do.
They do, but again, you know, coming off a 1-7 season, they've not fared too well in this matchup lately. The last 4 outcomes have been in Atlantic Shores' favor, including 48-6 a year ago, 21-0 the season before that, 55-21 in 2021, and 19-13 in 2019. So they haven't prevailed against this team head-to-head in 6 years. You got to go back to 2018.
And you got to remember, Atlantic Shores is one of the best private schools in the whole 757, arguably. And they're definitely one of the tougher opponents, and they're not just an easy task to try and make to start their season off with a bang. And a deep kick there from Atlantic Shores, picked up by Jack Baker. He's got a little bit of room. He'll make one man miss, but then he'll be brought down around the 20-yard line. A little bit of a scuffle there towards the 43-yard line. We got a flag on the field.
Can also tell you now, with 1:38 to go in the first half, Norfolk Academy ran to kick off back to the 24-yard line of Currituck and scored a few plays later. So deadlocked at 7 between Currituck and the Bulldogs of NA.
Good start for them. So Olive Wight Just looking for something. Looking to put points on the board. I'd take away from this drive if I'm the coach of Isle of Wight. Let's go put points on the board. I don't care if it's 6. I don't care if it's 3. Let's find a way. Let's move ourselves on the field. Have a productive possession. Let's get something on the board. Shotgun look for him. Jason Chapman drops back, and he rolls out left. Looked like a design QB draw, and he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play.
Well, they've had moderate moments of success, you could say, with him getting out on the move. But what you don't want is if he tries to run and it ends up being a huge backwards loss because they end up collapsing down on it. They'll take that for a few yards. Step in the right direction.
Absolutely. Second and long here. Looks like a single back formation. Jack Baker on the outside there on the left. And it's going to be a play fake. Chapman rolling out to the right, and he's going to have to go back the other way, being chased around by multiple Atlantic Shores defenders, and he's going to end up running, and looks like he may have lost a yard.
Yeah, 52 we don't have on our roster sheets, the one that ran him out of bounds, but that's what I'm talking about there, Jack, because now you end up, as I was just mentioning about before, you end up putting yourself behind the sticks when you do that.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going to roll out the way he was originally, if he doesn't have it there and he's going to be sacked, you just got to try and get rid of it, I'd say. Don't even risk trying to run the other way, because before he could have known it, he could have been met by another big defensive lineman the other way and be blindside
Well,
hit.
the key thing is you don't want intentional grounding if you're just running around, almost the old chicken with your head cut off type of thought. But at this point, they have to be, they went to a bunch formation, now they're going to more of an open look with 3 receivers to the far side.
Handoff to, I believe, Trent Harrison. Maybe a yard or 2, but nothing more. And that's going to be 4th down once again as the jet passes by.
Yeah, just a few for Harrison on that. He's actually averaging, if you give him that 9-yarder the last series, it got moved up from the 11 to the 20, about 4 yards a pop. But if you go exclusive to that, the defense is going to be aware of that. So they just have to have a little bit of diversity in their attack. And it all starts up front. If you can't block in the trenches, it really puts pressure on your skill guys to make a guy miss. And right now, Atlantic Shores' defense is not playing carelessly or recklessly to that point.
And they will get this punt off.
Clark almost got it again.
Yeah, almost. That one's going to go out of bounds and be a dead ball.
Coming off the edge, he's been real active tonight.
On both sides as well, he's had a couple of receptions. Atlantic Shores will take back over as they lead 35-0 with just over 10 minutes to play here in the first half.
And for those wondering what's on deck for Atlantic Shores in the games to come, well, we can tell you they will be back here in action right here at the Plex next week against Roanoke Catholic. And they have Catholic on September 6th, a trip to North Cross September 20th, and at Nansemond Suffolk Academy on September 27th. More games to follow after that as well.
Yeah, definitely some big ones for them this year to try and get back, as this is a design screen and a very solid play there. The connection between Michael Lance and Joshua Sibley, who you mentioned earlier. But some big ones, trying to get back at North Cross, I think, is a huge one for them. They had a tight one with them last year, but kind of lost control towards the second half and ended up losing. I believe 42-14 was the final.
Yeah,
of that
Jaziel Hart is a real force. They did graduate Moritz Schmerenzer, who's now at Pittsburgh. Big Schmo, as they called him. But Jaziel Hart, we've got a feature coming up, another shameless plug. My guy, Robert Anderson, longtime Roanoke Times columnist, who now works for us at VirginiaPreps.com, caught up with a couple of the North Cross standouts. We'll be highlighting them soon in the days to come. But they're going to be a state contender as usual, which is the norm. There's a lot of good private schools around the state, beyond just here in the 757. We mentioned Norfolk Academy in action tonight. Mike Beal and the Saints have been making noise in recent years. You've got up in Richmond, Benedictine coming off a title, and they played Western Branch a year ago. Trinity Episcopal is stacked with talent, and there's a host of others. Blue Ridge has got talent, who's on the schedule.
Blue Ridge, I mean, they murked them last year, and they also murked them in the playoffs in the first round, and that's going to be a tough one for the Seahawks, I believe.
October 12th is the date of that on the road. And that's 8 days after the Norfolk Academy game. It's a 2 o'clock afternoon game. And then Fredericksburg Christian, October 18th, comes here. St. Anne's Belfield October 25th on the road, and then they close out with Smith Mountain Lake Christian Academy, the Ospreys, on November 1st. And they're actually, I'm hearing rumor, I'm going to put it out there and probably get in trouble saying this, they may be joining the VHSL.
Really?
The second private school to follow Liberty Christian. Yeah, it's actually been in the notes, so I'm probably not going to get in trouble saying that, but it's been rumored about and talked about. So
that's a big step for them.
Could be. They would likely join Class 1 as a Dogwood District member, but we'll see if that does come to fruition as it's been mentioned and talked about.
Beautiful sunset here in Virginia Beach as we start off this series for Atlantic Shores. We got a flag, and it's going to be a false start on the offense. And Seahawks going to have to reset it here to start off the drive. Definitely some big ones for Atlantic Shores. They had I'd say, pretty successful season last year. Just looking to build on top of that, like we mentioned earlier, very experienced team, a lot of returners, a couple seniors, like Chris Higgins, and Michael Lance, only a junior. I thought he was a senior, but he's actually only a junior, and he'll be leading the team out there again, and I think he definitely has the ability, when you got a receiving core like he does, to put up some big numbers. So it'll be shotgun for the Seahawks. Michael Lance pitch to Jack Weaver. He has some room to run, and he loses the ball again.
Second time tonight he's put it on the carpet.
I believe the Chargers the Seahawks fell back on top of it.
Looks
I
like
believe that was 52.
No, I think it's Travion Morgan who got it, I think. 53.
Oh, yep, you're right. So that when that happens twice in one game, you start to lose some trust of your coaches, of your other players. You just got to put your head down and make the next play because you can't let that take over the rest of your game.
No, and that's when it's going to bother Coach Lance. That was basically a pitch out, almost a Ford-type pass the way he pitched it.
I wonder, I watched the replay here. Do you think he had full possession of the pitch before he fumbled, or do you think he was bobbling the whole way?
No, he had it. He was off and running. But, again, you got to protect it with both hands and not get careless with the rock because that is he had full possession. No doubt.
He just,
close game that can really hurt you.
Yeah, really. Lance, play fake. Hits number 6, Joshua Sibley, and he's still fighting for his life. And a little bit of a push from the big guy, and he's going to finally go down around the 4-yard line. Great fight from him.
Yeah, another pickup of 16 for the sure-handed Sibley, who's showing some toughness after the catch. I'm sure his coaches like seeing that, as that puts Michael Lance over 200 yards through the air tonight. Now, unofficially, 11 of 15 for 203. Sibley's got 3 of those grabs for 45.
Atlantic Shores with 4 wide now, trips to the right, and Sibley once again on the left side here. Could I try and make a Tony Romo call here? Could we see wide receivers? Never mind, too late. It's going to be a play fake, and the pass is complete to Josh Sibley on the left side. Easy touchdown. I was going to say, we had the trips to the right, Chris Higgins in the slot. Could we have seen a wide receiver screen straight to Chris Higgins? But
we could have, but they decided to go in that direction.
They heard me once again. So Atlantic Shores goes up 41-0 with the extra point impending. And this is just brutal for Isle of Wight.
Tough to swallow. 5th touchdown pass of the night for Michael Lance. We've still got 8 minutes and change to go in the half.
He's going to have some inflated stats after this one.
I should have put some Chicho's Pizza on it with you and Ethan on the score pick. I think this guy would have been probably collecting there. That was not going to go through. It got blocked.
That was tipped by the defensive line there for the Chargers. And there they go. Get a little bit going on special teams. But it's going to take more than that as they trail 41-0 here in the second quarter. We'll get the time for you here in a second. But we'll be back here after we hear from some more of our sponsors. Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
Well, it's
one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center in Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy it in our synthetic turf area. Pain and gain. Embrace the pain. Enjoy the game.
So did you go there when you did the voiceover, or you just do that from your home?
I did it from the office.
Okay.
I did it from the office. I like my live version better, though. You know, you listen to the recorded version so many times and you realize how high-pitched your voice is. Is that kickoff is fumbled a little bit.
I don't think Olive Wight liked the live version of that kickoff. That was
No,
they like to replay and have a do-over. But
yeah, they're gonna have the ball at about the 1 yard line here, and they're just asking for Atlantic Shores to make another disastrous play on the defense. But yes, that was done here in the offices, in the studios of the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, and never looked back. About 8 minutes, 8 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Olive Wight trails 41-0. And a beautiful fall night here. I'd say fall night. It's still the summer. We're getting close to that fall mark where we begin high school football. A lot of teams are not in action tonight. It's only a couple games in the 7-5-7. A lot of teams will go back starting next Thursday. I believe they're starting on Thursday because of Labor Day weekend, a lot of teams.
true. And school starting up for some in the area. There's a couple scrimmages in the area tonight.
Shotgun look for Olive Wight. The play fake. Quarterback drops the ball. Chapman. He picks it back up and runs, and he may have gotten back to the one. Atlantic Shores wants a safety
They're
call.
going to give him forward progress. They're going to give him forward progress. But he got swallowed up at the end there. Looks like number 12 in on that stop for Atlantic Shores.
Campbell Clark.
He's been all over the place.
Yeah. Tough go for the Chargers. I mean, it looked like he might have had some room there, but because he bobbled there at the beginning and couldn't run right away. I mean, just not much you can do.
Got a halftime for you. Norfolk Academy now scored on the last play at a half on a screen pass, so they lead Currituck County 14-7.
Love some back and forth action here. I think you could consider this week 0 of high school football, right? Week 0?
You could
Next
call
week
that,
could be
I
week
guess.
1, like college football, because there's only two games in action, 2 main games in action. Kind of like college football. There's plenty of college football, but between games that actually matter, only about 4 games nationally televised this week. Coming up tomorrow, actually.
You looking for the one from Ireland?
Yeah,
Florida
Dublin,
State,
Florida State, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Georgia Tech faces a big challenge in that game. However, it's still going to get my view during the game because it's college football and it's back.
I can understand that.
And it's ACC football. I'm not afraid to admit I'm a big time Virginia Cavalier fan, and watching some ACC football is always fun.
Then you might not like what I'm going to have to ask one of our guests.
boy.
We have a couple Hall of Famers scheduled to join us tomorrow. Tim Kirchin, baseball
Is it
analyst,
gonna
and
be what I've already
David
heard?
Teal, Richmond Times-Dispatch. Well, I might ask this to Teal. Oh,
And a nice
what a
play
juggling
there.
grab.
Chapman with a dart to number 81, Jaden Wilson. He juggled a little bit there, picked it up, and Olive Wight has achieved a first down. Anyways, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. I like juggling catch there, so he's going to pick up 15 right for Wilson. Nice gainer. I might ask this to Teal tomorrow that Paul Feinbaum, actually, if I can remember this tomorrow, that he said, quote, there are really 2 conferences. The rest of them don't matter. They're really playing for 3rd place, talking about the SEC and Big Ten. Now, he does work for SEC Network, so of
Yeah,
course you
so
expect
there is
him to
bias
say
there.
that.
However, I love the ACC. I really do. However, I can't argue with it. I think it's a very clear argument.
A lot of people feel that way.
Completion there. Chapman was rolling out to the right. Looked like he was intending for Jack Baker, who's been pretty involved in the offense, just not much doing. What I feel like they've been missing, we saw it early with Grayson Brock, their tight end. He was in on the trick play. He had another reception later. He seemed to be good in those 2 times they got him involved. Why not try and get him involved more, I feel like?
Again, the coaching staff's learning what they have and what players can and can't do. So I think it's something they'll go back to the film room and see. It's a fair question.
Handoff here and a couple yards gain for Trent Harrison, I believe. It's going to be 3rd and long. But back on the Big Ten SEC topic, I mean, when you look at the college football playoffs now, outside of the fact that arguably, I'm not going to give my opinion, but arguably FSU should have been in, should have not been in last year. it seems to be every year it's going to be all SEC and Big Ten teams with the exception of maybe one ACC team, and then the Big 12. I mean, it's all over the place, but
well, you never know. And now with the expanded playoff,
with the
being up to
expanded
12,
playoffs, you'll definitely get
it'll
more.
make things different.
It'll be interesting with the Group of 5 school in there too.
A lot of people think
However,
that Texas State could be one of those party crashers.
Oh,
this
absolutely.
Year.
But what I think, and this is a big lob that's going to go out of bounds. What I think though is ultimately, once we get down to the Final Four in the playoffs, it's going to look about the same as it would have if they were only picking 4. I think. However, it makes it more interesting, gives more teams the opportunity to make some big things happen, because upsets do happen. They do happen.
They do, and it now makes it almost have a little more of a college basketball March Madness pageantry feel for it. So, I'm curious to see how it works out. I do miss. I will be honest. A little bit of me misses the Pac-12. I will be.
Oh, absolutely. You can't not miss the Pac-12, as this punt is going to go
Pac-12 after dark.
very far.
Now I got to watch Hawaii after dark, which I was going to do anyway.
Speaking of which, I mean, what's going on with Delaware State?
You got that's wild, and then if you pay attention to how much the teams expect to win by, that's crazy in that regard. But in that regard, but how about Norfolk State in action tomorrow too?
Yeah.
Florida A&M. Behold the green and gold.
That's a big game for them. That's a big game for them.
Yeah,
Shout
big
out
spotlight on TV. It's good exposure for them.
Shout out Aiden Lorslong, former Western Ranch graduate now over at Norfolk State.
And a chance to get that exposure for the HBCUs is certainly, you can't put a price tag on that. It's
No question about it.
So at midfield, just inside midfield, 45-yard line now for the Seahawks with 4:43 to go in our first half. I thought the clock was running. They stopped it at 4:43, so we do not have a running clock.
I'd say if I were to predict, they're definitely going to have that running by the start of the second half, I would think. So for Atlantic Shores here, we're going to be looking at that same shotgun set, this time with 2 receivers wide, 1 on either side of the field. Jack Weaver with 2 fumbles tonight now is going to be on the right side of Michael Lance. And the snap almost looked like Shores, the left tackle moved early there. We're just going to hand off to Jack Weaver, and he's going to have a very productive run, picking up about 5 to 6 yards on the carry.
And I imagine you could see not a heavy dose of Weaver, but him more involved here. They don't have to air it out as much in the second half, but they'll get some of the subs and backups in, what you want to do, get them tested and their feet wet.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, are we sure Chris Higgins is going to win the receiving yard game if he doesn't play the second half? I'm sure they'll get him in, though.
Well,
it's not as much of a concern.
I don't know if there's going to be a need to be chucking the ball around. You'll have a running clock, and they'll probably want to just grind it out a little bit in that regard.
Yeah. Doesn't matter as much with the receivers. It's more so you'll see some younger, whether it's O linemen, even Micah. I don't think they'll take Michael Lance out, but if you're that one's handed off to Jack Weaver, a very solid game for a first down. But if you're Coach Wayne Lance,
well too on that.
If you're Coach Wayne Lance, I mean, you've got to at least consider taking your son out and getting someone young a chance to go.
I think that's going to be discussed at the break because they don't have to make a whole lot of adjustments with a 41-point lead that could be even larger.
There's no reason to risk anything health-wise. There's no reason to not. I mean, realistically, will they have another blowout win this year? Probably, but I mean, it's a great chance to get the young guys a chance to play. So it'll be shotgun here for Michael Lance and Weaver to the right. Receiver on either side once again, basically the same formation as last play. Large offensive line, and Lance hands this off to Weaver once again, and he's going to pick up about a yard, grind out about a yard. Great play there by the Iowa Wight defensive line.
Yeah, nice job of them wrapping up together there. Let's shout out a couple of those defenders that made something happen for them. Good to see the likes of number 54, Sam Denman. He's a freshman defensive end, and number 77 as well, David Gutierrez, sophomore defensive lineman. So freshman and sophomore getting their feet wet, making something happen. And that's what they want to see. You're losing by 41. Okay, this isn't the way you wanted your season to start. You didn't envision this when you went to hit the head on the pillow on Thursday night. But how do you deal with adversity? That's what all these coaches and teachers up there are trying to instill in these young men and all these young athletes as they deal with sports, because it's not always going to go your way. And how do you work through it? And right now, that's what they're trying to do at Atlantic Shores. It's rosy right now, but there's going to be some that they face at some point too, whether it be in this ball game, maybe not tonight, but down the road for sure.
About 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Atlantic Shores leads 41-0 over Isle of Wight. And we get a whistle. It'll be a flag on the field.
Might have been a delay or a timeout. I'm not sure what the
yeah,
here.
Look,
it's going to be a delay. Yeah. I think they tried to get the timeout in and they ran out of time, but they'll be backed up 5 here. So that's their 5th penalty unofficially for. I've got them with 46
yards. Not amazing numbers. You definitely want to dial that. I mean, obviously, the ideal situation is no penalties, but that's just unrealistic. But you definitely want to dial down. You don't want to have 5 penalties if you're going to want to compete at a high level this year.
I'll be honest with the audience. I'm a little more distracted tonight than Jack is because his Philadelphia Phillies are not playing, but my Diamondbacks are nursing a 2-1 lead in Boston against the Red Sox in the top of the 4th. So
they can go all the way this year?
I am keeping one eye on that. I doubt it, but we can always hope, right?
Yeah.
Your team is the one that's supposed to go all the way finally.
Yeah, a little bit of a rough stretch in the Braves series there over the last 3 days, but you know, we're out of action tonight, and we'll get back to it tomorrow, and we'll see what we'll be able to do. Pitching staff looks very good. Just got to get the offensive production going.
Got another whistle.
It's going to be another flag. It's going to be false start on the Seahawks, so that's going to back them up another 5. It's going to be second and extra long.
Again, wherever you're tuning in tonight, we thank you. Cova Sports TV, hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons to spread the word. We give you live football action, field hockey, lacrosse, soccer, and so much more, plus podcasts, including our 757 Saturday Sports Talk, our field hockey podcast. People can check that out as well. Beanie Schleicher spearheading that now this year, and on the Hash with Hatfield coming back here soon with football. We got our football preview coming up soon as well.
Hand off to Jack Weaver. Man, what a run. And he's going to get all the way past the original line of scrimmage as they were backed up pretty far from all the penalties, and that's going to be a good one for Weaver. And he's definitely capable of being a very good running back. He just got set back a little bit from, 2 turnovers. It's definitely not ideal, but it sets back a little bit when you think, okay, that maybe this isn't as good of a running back. But we saw it last year, and we're seeing it now. He's had some outstanding runs, and he could definitely be a very key offensive piece to Atlantic Shores' run this year.
Well, look, it's play within your limitations. Know what you're good at. Know what you have to sharpen up on, and don't try to get out of character, do anything out of your comfort zone. And last year, finishing just 65 yards short of 1,000 as a junior. Certainly a lot of growth in his game from the year before to junior year, and I think Coach Lance and staff are hoping for even more. This is a stretch play to the near side, and he's going to get another good dose of yardage here, close to the sticks.
I mean, his run game has been outstanding this game. I'd take a wild guess, though, in practice coming up next week, coaching staff is going to preach to him, hang on to the ball security. He's going to set up for 4th and short, 4th and about inches.
So how many did you give him on that last carry there, Jack? You got 4th and inches. What do you think?
4th and inches. There's a lot.
There's a lot?
I couldn't give you an exact number. This one, whistle. And it looks like that's going to be against the defense. So that's going to be first down for Atlantic Shores. And that, I assume Atlantic Shores was going to run a play there anyways, but they were definitely going to run a little bit of a freeze and see if they can get him to jump off sides, and they did just that. Michael Lance rolling out to the right. He has a little bit of room. He's going to get an edge and be pushed out of bounds. And anytime he runs like that, he's got defenders chasing him. His dad, Wayne Lance, the head coach, has just got to be, please get down. Please get out of bounds. Don't take a hit. Don't take a hit.
Yeah, given the situation, I don't think he's as concerned as he might be in some cases where it's looking like it's danger, Will Robinson. But
definitely don't want him taking a hit. That's for sure. Especially in a game where you're up by 41. And I don't want to be the one to say that it might be over, but I think the game might be over.
Don't say that. You're going to turn away our thousands and thousands of viewers out there.
And I believe that's going to do it for the first half. I don't think anybody was paying attention to the clock. I noticed it dialing down, but nobody was rushing. I'm like, am I missing something here? But no, that's going to do it for the first half. Atlantic Shore is getting a good applause coming off of the field as they lead 41-0 as we hit halftime here. And as I'm going to say, week 0 of high school football in Virginia in the 757. Folks, football is back, the fall is back, and we are ready to rock and roll the season. Atlantic Shores leads 41-0. We'll go into break.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients and we're more than a hospital.
Treat yourself to a visit to the Drip Bar IV Hydration and Vitamin Therapy in Virginia Beach. Boost your immunity, increase your energy, and promote anti-aging with our personalized treatments designed to ensure efficient nutrition absorption to rejuvenate your mind and body. Come see our chic and relaxing day spa for yourself today. We welcome walk-ins and appointments. Our medical professionals will help you achieve your best health and answer all your questions. The Drip Bar at Lansdowne Commons in Virginia.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
And we're back here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Our score at the half, Atlantic Shores 41, Isle of Wight Academy nothing. With Jack Lowe, I'm Matt Hatfield. Let's go through some halftime numbers from this matchup, the season opener for these two teams here in 2024. Chargers of Isle of Wight coming off a 1-7 campaign last year. Atlantic Shores 7-4 in 2023. They've been led tonight, the Seahawks. Coach Wayne Lance, the head man, his son Micah Lance, the junior trigger man, who a season ago for them completed 176 of 267 passes. That's just under 66% for 2,390 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 15 interceptions. They want to reduce that INT total. Certainly was prolific with some big plays for them. Tonight, young Micah, no INTs, which is probably the best thing for them. 12 of 16 through the air for, I think I put it out incorrectly. I'll have to correct myself on the tweet I just put out. He actually has 224 yards through the air.
I was never a math wizard.
No, I forgot to add one little line on my stat sheet. So 12 of 16, 75% for 224 and 5 TDs through the air for him tonight. Who have been the recipients for Micah Lance in the passing game tonight? Well, he's spread the ball around to 5 different receivers, 5 catches for Chris Higgins, the William & Mary commit, with 87 yards and a score, 4 grabs and a score for Joshua Sibley. He's got 49 yards. And Corey Elijah Williams has a couple of catches for 77 yards and a TD. You also have Christian Franks with a 2-yard touchdown catch. Jack Weaver with a 9-yard touchdown catch. So is that right? All 5 guys have a touchdown catching the football. Jack Weaver unofficially 9 rushes for 76 yards on the ground this evening for him. Michael Lance carried it one time for nil. So that adds up to a total of 26 plays of offense for 283 yards. For Isle of Wight, not nearly as successful offensively as they've run 31 plays from scrimmage with a total of, I'm showing 54 yards. Doesn't feel like it's even that much, but Jason Chapman, the quarterback, 6 of 13 unofficially for 42 yards through the air. Trent Harrison's got 5 carries for 18 yards. In terms of the receivers, Jaden Wilson, 3 grabs for 17 yards, and also for Isle of Wight, number 11, Grayson Brock, has 2 catches for 25 yards. They did get a forced fumble from Drake Williams, a fumble recovery from Trent Harrison as well, the junior running back, or we could call him fullback for them. Meanwhile, for Atlantic Shores, a fumble recovery from Campbell Clark, who's also blocked a punt tonight. So 1 giveaway on each side of the turnover categories. A couple of penalties for 10 yards for Isle of Wight, and I've got 6 penalties unofficially for 51 yards for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores, which brings us to our halftime score of 41-0 in favor of Atlantic Shores. You see the matchup scrolling across the ticker for us tonight for Atlantic Shores coming up. They'll be in action next week here at the Plex. As for the Chargers of Isle of Wight Academy, Coach Chapman's group, their next game coming up is going to be on the 30th of September, next Friday, against Nansman Suffolk Academy. That's a home game for them. Then they host Roanoke Catholic. They travel to Fredericksburg Christian. They host St. Anne's Belfield. They play the Washington Jaguars on September 27th. They out of Princess Anne, Maryland, it looks like, at the end of September. And then in October, they host Nandua on the 11th, and they host Hargrave Military Academy on the 25th of October. But again, like, share, and subscribe to our Cova Sports TV YouTube channel, wherever you may be tuning in tonight. We thank you for doing so, as we bring you wall-to-wall coverage of high school sports, high school football in particular this year here in the calendar year of 2024 from the Plex, and all here at the home of Atlantic Shores football, CHKD Sports Medicine. And CHKD, whether your child is competing as part of a football team or on the road to Olympic glory, we thank the CHKD Sports Medicine program for all that they do, comprehensive treatment of illness and pediatric injury. CHKD.org, health, healing, hope for all children. Check them out online at chkd.org.
Yeah, definitely a dominating matchup here for Atlantic Shores facing off against Isle of Wight. I mean, from all phases of the ball, we've seen them dominate on offense as early as the first possession. I mean, Isle of Wight has not put up any points yet, so we know they've dominated defensively and even on special teams, making a lot of their extra points except for the final one that was blocked, but also blocking a punt and just not giving up much at all. So definitely looking like Atlantic Shores has this one, but we've got a whole half of football to play. But before we get to that second half, let's hear from some more word from our sponsors.
Treat yourself to a visit to the Drip Bar IV Hydration and Vitamin Therapy in Virginia Beach. Boost your immunity, increase your energy, and promote anti-aging with our personalized treatments designed to ensure efficient nutrition absorption to rejuvenate your mind and body. Come see our chic and relaxing day spa for yourself today. We welcome walk-ins and appointments. Our medical professionals will help you achieve your best health and answer all your questions. The Drip Bar at Lansdowne Commons in Virginia Beach.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game. Pain and Gain, your one-stop shop for all things field hockey. Located in Princess One Shopping Center, Virginia Beach, we carry everything you need on the turf, from black sticks, turf shoes, mouth guards, and much more. Try out your stick before you buy in our synthetic turf area. Pain and Gain. Embrace the pain, enjoy the game.
Well, it's everybody's favorite time of year again. Time to prepare to make your annual donation to that infernal revenue service. And if you're like me, you need help. Help to keep that donation as small as possible. So get off your W-2 and call John Maynard at John's Tax Service. 455-6763.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine, where kids are more than patients, and we're more than...
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
And we're back here live at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, home of CHKD Sports Medicine. We're here for the game between Isle of Wight Academy and the Atlantic Shores Seahawks. Atlantic Shores leads 41-0 at the break here as we prepare to get closer to the kickoff for the second half. You got to think that they might consider having a running clock here for this half of play, but we'll see. Definitely going to see more ground and pound, I think, for the Seahawks running this clock.
Yeah, I think at this point, you know the outcome is pretty much
I'd say it's decided.
yeah, it's been determined. So you want to get out of here both sides without any key injuries to your starters, working some of the younger underclassmen, and find out some things that you can use for games 2 through 8, 9, 10. And in Atlantic Shores' case, they hope a playoff run. Certainly it's a rebuilding situation right now for Isle of Wight. They don't even have a large amount of seniors on this roster. Certainly their captains, Jason Chapman, Grayson Brock, Jack Baker, they want to try to put this night behind them as they move forward. But is there something you can take in the second half and build on? Atlantic Shores' case, you also, even though you have a comfortable running clock margin lead, and we'll be playing the second half with a running clock, you don't want to have any let up in your intensity and your focus to the little things, the details. This is really a detail game for them as far as the execution and small things that
get the fundamentals right.
Yeah, they can become big things. So that's where they are with this right now. But I would expect you see a lot of second unit players get sprinkled in here as they begin the third quarter and conclude things in the fourth period.
And I'll tell you, with the amount of underclassmen the Isle of Wight Academy has on their roster, I mean, that opens up the door for a huge opportunity for them in the coming years with all of these young guys that are getting all their experience now and throughout the whole season. You got to think that by the time all these juniors become seniors, sophomores in a couple years, they may not be where they are right now, but with all the development, because at not most schools, but at a lot of schools, you're not going to get that kind of playing time at this young. But getting all this experience and playing time, you might be all right in a couple years.
Well, again, you want to see if it can pay dividends down the road by making small gains and turn them into,
then you break a tackle downfield.
Yeah, and it's not even just a specific play. What can you do well for a stretch of plays? Can you do for, a segment, a quarter of a game? Then if you have a better second half than the first half, that's a step in the right direction. So, for them, it's going to take some time. It's a process, and they won't become an instant contender just from one week to the next. So, there's a ways to go for them at this point. But Atlantic Shores, you've checked a lot of boxes now. Can you continue to do that as you press forward into next week and what's ahead?
Yeah. Atlantic Shores will be kicking off to the Chargers here to start the second half. Still waiting for Isle of Wight to come on to the field as Atlantic Shores not quite set, but close to it. I'm not entirely sure who's kicking off for them. We don't have their name on our roster sheet, number 13. But I will say I haven't had a chance to use this yet. In practice before the game and pregame warm-ups, he was drilling kicks, must I say. I saw him. He ended up making his longest was 46 yards in pregame warm-ups, which, in my opinion, very impressive for the high school level. and definitely can get him some attention down the road from collegiate play, I believe. But 46 yards. He attempted one from 52 yards, and it doinked right off the bottom crossbar, barely just short. So say this was a close game or they're getting close games down the road, he most definitely can pimp a clutch one in for you.
Well, that could help a great deal. There's no doubt about that.
So Atlantic Shore is set to kick off here as Iowa Wight is now on the field.
Just a little bit of a delay right now.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. Here we go. Kicker's going to set it up on the tee. Referees are ready to go. There's the whistle, and here we go, ready to kick off the second half. And that one's going to go out of bounds, so that's going to be a flag. And the Chargers going to start off with solid field position.
We'll see if there's any substitution changes for Isle of Wight here in this third period. We know for Atlantic Shores they'll be mixing in a lot of new faces.
Definitely. Isle of Wight going to get the ball. Waiting on the spot. It should be around that, looks like that 35-yard line. So here comes the Chargers, starting out in a single back formation. They're going to put Jack Baker in motion, and the handoff to Trent Harrison, and he's going to go nowhere. Maybe a yard on the play.
Like the wrapping up there from the combination of 51 and 62 for Atlantic Shores on defense. We're talking about William Ferguson Jr. and Darian Fennell. Fennell, a junior, 6'2", 230. It's the first time we called out Ferguson tonight, 6'3", 250-pound senior, who's an intriguing prospect. Jack came in from Nansemond River to the Seahawks this offseason and shown some flashes, and he's a player that I think can play somewhere at the next level if he so desires to.
And he has that playoff experience. Nansemond River had a couple
got a good frame.
games.
I think he's still learning the game and getting comfortable in what he can do and developing as a player. So he might be one of those late bloomers, diamond in the rough types.
And he can definitely make an impact on the Seahawk defense, who already has some very solid names in its center. And a quick throw, and it looks like a miscommunication there. Chapman looks like as he got the ball, he's looking for a receiver screen, and neither receiver on the left side there were ready for it. So it's going to be third and about 9.
And again, the running clock, so we're ticking near 9 minutes to go with Atlantic Shores up by 41 in this game.
So third and long for the Chargers. Chapman in the shotgun with the running back to the right. 2 receivers on either side of the field. He's going to drop back. And once again, a miscommunication. That's going to be picked off. And he's got some room to run, and that's going to be 6 the other way for Atlantic Shores.
All the way for Dexter Edmonds, a house call. We do have a flag, might be a celebration penalty.
Yep, I was going to say, going to be on the celebrations. It was a mix between a great play by Edmonds, but also just miscommunication for the second consecutive play for the Chargers. Quarterback threw it, and nobody was looking in the right direction, and it was straight into Edmonds' hands, and he took that one all the way with ease. So Atlantic Shores now, I doubt, yes, they're going to look for an extra point here. I was going to say, I doubt they try and go for 2 to make up for the missed extra point, but I think that'd just be terrible of them.
Caught it right at the 42-yard line.
Yeah.
Give him 42
Great
yards.
He has some speed, too, as you watch there.
Yeah, the replay. That's the neat thing about watching our broadcasts on YouTube for folks that hit that like button, subscribe to our Cova Sports TV YouTube channel. You can go back and watch a great play you might have saw once, want to see it again, or you might have missed something and go back and check it out at your leisure.
Extra point is up, and it's good. So the kicker for Atlantic Shores has drilled all but one of their extra points. He's been very good tonight, as well as the rest of the Seahawks tonight, as they lead 48-0 with just over 9 minutes to play here in the third quarter. We'll be back right after this.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
Well, it's
Virginia Beach United 2025 season tickets are on sale now. Check out the Virginia Beach United website. After a very exciting season for them in 2024, taking a step up with their new head coach, Chris Mills, winning their first ever playoff game and then falling just short in the second round. Definitely exciting times for them coming up next season, and you don't want to miss any of the action here at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex.
It's a great way to spend with the family. Come on out here, summertime, enjoy the soccer action. Get yourself some tasty treats from our concession stand and wind down and watch the soccer action. A lot of good talent out here, and the kids love it. They absolutely eat it up like candy, and you can get them some candy too. Keep them all hydrated and all full of sugar.
Great soccer play too. Some of these guys are, I hear, might be leaving the program to make it to the pros. So we've got some good talent, and it's not something you want to miss. Isle of Wight beginning their next possession here. Going to be around the 32-yard line. Oh, ref's going to move it back to the 30-yard line. Your favorite for keeping stats, Matt.
Well, I'm not worried about the return yards right now. We do have a running clock. Well, actually, yeah, the clock has restarted. It wasn't moving for a second there.
Keep it moving.
In a game like this, I think both coaches are feeling that way. In the case of Coach Lance, get out of here. You've got a comfortable lead, and
don't
Coach
pick up
Chapman,
no injuries if you're Coach Lance. Keep
Chapman,
everybody healthy.
Yeah,
and that's a bad snap. Chapman going to have to run back to get it. He'll pick it up, and this is disastrous. However, he makes a couple men miss and just run out of bounds, and that's going to be a loss of a lot.
Yeah, he lost about a good 10 or so. But that's not on him. That's really on the bad snap.
Bad snap. Like you said, try and get those fundamentals right. And get this team just moving inch by inch down the field, eventually turn one of these smaller gains into a big gain, hopefully.
Sports can be unpredictable at times. You never know what might transpire, and you think, you've got things figured out, and it can take a turn the other way. And right now, Isle of Wight's trying to get that positive turn, whereas Atlantic Shores has had.
We got some more dirty laundry on the field.
Just about every play outside of that one fumble in their favor tonight. We got some movement up front. It's going to be on the defense.
It's going to be on the defense.
Yeah, encroachment.
So that'll help compensate a little more for the previous disaster. However, it's still going to be a lot to go. Looking at two receivers on either side of the field. Jason Chapman looking to get something going as he hands it off. Running back for Isle of Wight. Oh. He's going to be met. Great tackle there.
Wesley Bruley.
Yeah.
Read it well defensively.
Trent Harrison seems to be the main bit of offense as a running back for the Chargers, and he doesn't have much tonight, but
no, unofficially 7 rushes for 20 yards, but
it's not all his fault. I mean,
no.
He could definitely get some better blocking from the big guys up front.
He hasn't had much daylight.
Nope. So shotgun once again for Jason Chapman. He's going to drop back and look for the out route, and that's going to be overthrown and picked off.
We got a flag, though.
We do have a flag. That's going to be picked up by number 10, Christian Franks, who had the touchdown earlier. We'll see what the flag is, but as of right now, it's another forced turnover by Atlantic Shores. And they're saying, the defense is saying out on the field, they think that it's going to be against the offense. The penalties are going to offset, so it's going to be Atlantic Shores football. Had one on the defense, one on the offense.
Well, if it's offsetting, they replay the down.
You're right, Matt. The official pointed in this direction as if it was Atlantic Shores football. That's why I inferred that. However, I think you're right. No, the chains are moving like it's Atlantic Shores ball.
It is Atlantic Shores ball.
They made the motion like the penalty's offset. Not exactly sure.
And that INT was by Christian Franks.
Set himself a solid day. Just got to have the short memory loss with the drop he had earlier, but not that it had much of an effect on the game anyways. Did have the touchdown, had the pick there. He's definitely made a name for himself tonight.
A little surprised Michael Lance is still in there. I know it is the third quarter, but
Under center I formation, he'll get it to the running back and pick up a couple yards. I believe that was Jack Weaver once again. I think they still have him in there.
no, I'm showing it looked like number 11 that got that touch, Cameron Kent.
Yep, that's right, Ken Kent. Once again, going to be under center, Michael Lance's I formation. And we got whistles, flag on the field. And we're going to get a false start, back him up 5.
Eighth penalty of the night on the Seahawks.
It's not ideal for them. I'm sure Wayne Lance isn't very happy about that. Shotgun look for the Seahawks as it's going to be 2nd and long after the penalty. It's going to be a pitch to Cameron Kent. He tries to get the outside here, and it's going to be
more
good touchdown
penalty.
tackling. We got another flag.
Penalty action here.
It's going to be a hold on the offense, and I imagine they're going to decline that. Keep the result of the play and make it.
They might actually push him backwards.
I think they did decline it, I think. They're not moving back. They're not really doing anything right now. And they did accept it. So there they go, moving back.
I think that's probably the right move. I know what you say, it's the down, but the way Atlantic Shores' offense operates, they can pick that up quickly.
He's 2nd and very long now. Here. Holding for the defense to make it a substitution if they'd like, I believe. And we got nothing, so Atlantic Shores ready to go in the shotgun formation. Michael Lance hands it off. Cam Kent, he's going to go nowhere. It's going to be, it's tough to do the math in your head, but first down marker's at about the 10-yard line, and they got to go from about the 35, so we got about a 3rd and 25.
Yeah, I was going to say 4th and 24 because remember that
fourth
marker
down.
didn't move. So
Yes. And they're going to attempt the field goal here. This is going to be a about a 51-yarder. Is that right? 50-yarder?
It's going to be close to 50. I think unofficially right at the 50 mark, yeah.
He has the range. Can he do it? Kick goes up, and it's going to be short and to the
quite.
left. That was exciting, though. You don't see that in high school football that much, a deep field goal. But it's going to be no good. Like I said, he made from about 46 in pregame warm-ups. Wasn't able to hit 51, so that was right around where that mark was. I don't think it was his best kick either way, but regardless, it's going to be a turnover, and Isle of Wight picks the ball back up at about their own 20.
So you brought up about the field goal. Do you know what the longest field goal is in VHSL's history in the record book?
I don't know, but I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say 61 yards.
Menchville's Dylan Christopher hit a 60-yarder back in 2011.
Good.
The next three longest were 58 yards by Jeff Heath of First Colonial back in 1981. I wonder if he went to school with my man James Timmons. I don't think he did. I think James was a little bit later. 58 by Chris Dawson of Parkview Sterling in 1988, and Jared Brown of Grafton hit a 57-yarder in 2008.
How do you have access to all these cool record books and stuff?
It's on the VHSL website. Go to VHSL.org and voila, it's right there at your fingertips.
Perfect.
But
I wonder what, I'm sure it's not in there. My man, I've got to give a shout out. Graham Terry, who's a Western Ranch Bruin. He graduated the year before the 2022 season, so 2021. I know he was one of the better kickers that Western Ranch had ever had, and he was consistently making kicks beyond 50 yards.
Best I've probably seen, I did see Christopher in high school as we got a penalty. It's going to be on Atlantic Shores, 15 yards up. It's probably between Christopher, Drew Jarrett of Cox was really good, Brandon Pace of Kellum. Yeah. Nick might remember him if Nick's out there listening and watching. He's a proud Kellum grad. There's a few others that come to mind.
A lot of people that work at the Sportsplex went to Kellum.
Yeah. And I'll give you one of the biggest kicks. It's a good run there, picking up 8 yards for number 4. That's Jet Williams, showing it at the Jet.
I love that name. I mean, with that kind of name, he's got to be the main running back, in my opinion.
And I give you one. She works now. I understand she works now at Bayside in the building as a teacher. Megan McGee hit a crucial kick. It didn't decide the game. It was early in the game. In the region championship here in 2010 for Bayside against Oscar Smith, 42-40 game. A lot of talent on that Bayside field. For Bayside on that field, of course, some UVA guys, as you know, Jack Demetrius Nicholson, Anthony Cooper, Quinn Blanding, Taquan Smoke Mizell, along with their quarterback and Dion Stitfer, a good friend of ours who's done a lot of our broadcasts, Coach Darnell Moore. If you're out there listening, Coach, we say hello to you. Darnell, one of the great coaches in the area, has won the region championship with Bayside, a couple state titles at Woodrow Wilson, which is now Manor in Portsmouth, and that was a memorable night, 2010 region championship. We've had a lot of great region championships over the years here at the Plex. Ocean Lakes had a big one with Oscar Smith, and some others leap to mind. But since we got a timeout, let's take a quick timeout and hear from One Life Fitness here. Atlantic Shores 48, Isle of Wight 0, with fourth quarter about to start right here at the Plex. All right, we're back here from the Plex. It's Atlantic Shores 48, Isle of Wight 0. Fourth quarter about to get underway. Jack, what an offensive fireworks show from Micah Lance and his Seahawks team. 5 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers. That's just how you draw it up on the video game or the whiteboard, right? Yeah, and it's tough not to if you're Micah Lance when you have such a good receiving core that he has in Chris Higgins, Campbell Clark. Josh Sibley has had some receptions in there, and Christian Franks. I mean, everybody, it seemed, now, of course, the Isle of Wight defense hasn't been as good staffed as some of the other teams they may play, but it seems as though at least one of them are wide open every play. Even Jack Weaver, when he's not in the running game and he goes out for a pass, I mean, it's just been incredible. End of 3, Norfolk Academy 21, Currituck County 7.
drop back Chapman. And that ball will be bobbled by Jack Baker. Nothing will be doing there. Incomplete.
I'm going to tell you like this. I guarantee you if someone tonight's watching this broadcast and they hear you say the name Jack Baker and they think of the legendary former Maury basketball coach who won over 700 games, that's the first Jack Baker that comes to mind. But I'll give you a funny, quick story, an incomplete pass. There's another Jack Baker who he doesn't coach anymore. He used to coach Russburg High School in football. So there's multiple Jack Bakers that were coaches in the state. They're not coaching at this moment in the state. And then we got a young man now for Isle of Wight who's a senior they're counting on to make some plays.
And the pitch there, number 4, Jet Williams with a pretty solid run there, and they're going to move the chains.
That's just their second first down of the night, right? I think it is.
Second or third. I think it's the second. I'd say that's, I mean, the other play they used Jet Williams last possession was a solid positive play too. I mean, they're seeing a little bit of potential out of him.
Well, that's what you want to uncover in a game like this. He's a sophomore, he gets his feet wet, and he's starting to make the most of his opportunity.
Absolutely. We got people rolling to the left and some room to run. Jason Chapman. And a very solid run there, and a couple good plays in a row for the Chargers, and they start moving the ball.
Yeah, against some seconds out here. Now, let's keep in mind it's not the first string unit for the defense, but still, you'll take anything you can build on if you're Isle of Wight.
Yep. Momentum, momentum, momentum.
They're telling me don't rain on their parade right now, but
yeah.
And if they can punch one in before the night's done, that they'll feel like they've accomplished something. It's not what they had hoped
night.
for.
They did
well, in that sense, they didn't quit. They're continuing to battle and play. Look, keep an eye on 54 out there, the right tackle, Sam Denman. He's limping out there. I don't know if the coach has seen it, but they definitely want to be careful with him when he goes down quickly.
Deep pass going to be incomplete.
I thought they might get another quarterback a look here as that pressure was bearing down, and Denman hit the deck quickly when he went to drop back and throw.
What was the person you said was limping?
That's the right tackle, number 54.
Gotcha. Yeah, not entirely sure. Isle of Wight looking to get something going as they have second and about 10 here. Second and 10, not about. In the I formation. And the handoff to Jack Baker. He'll pick up a yard or two, and a huge hit there by one of the Isle of Wight offensive linemen onto number 16, Andrew Harris. He helps him back up real quick, though.
And it's right now just tough for Isle of Wight to get these money down conversions, if you will, the second and third downs that they need to extend these drives. They're really having a hard time.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 here. Got 3 receivers out wide. The split back formation. Jack Baker to the left. And Chapman's going to drop back and roll to the right. Make one man miss. And he's still on his feet. He lost the ball. And let's see. It's going to be Atlantic Shore's ball. So another turnover. I didn't see him lose it initially. He was breaking sacks, and that's one of the dangers if you're a quarterback. Sometimes it's just best to go down, not risk losing the ball. Because, I mean, worst comes worst, you get a 4th down opportunity, maybe to try a field goal. I don't know quite the range on their kicker.
Yeah.
Or maybe to attempt a 4th down, you at least have another play instead of just ultimately turning it over right there.
A tough night for them. And that's the 4th turnover this evening.
It's been a rough one. It would be shotgun, and it looks like someone else might be in there for quarterback. I can't quite tell. Regardless, it's going to be a handoff to Cameron Kent, and he's going to be mad about the line. Interesting prompt I heard this morning on my way here to the Sportsplex. I was listening to the sports radio. If you had to choose, would you take Georgia versus the field to win the national championship this year? Or would you take the Kansas City Chiefs against the field to win the Super Bowl this year, if you had to choose one?
I'd probably take Georgia. I think it's too hard to repeat for 3 people. But I would take the field in both cases if you gave me the opportunity.
Yes, and I agree with that. But in this situation, you cannot take the field. I think it's a very interesting talking point, and I'd have to agree. I think it's got to be the Georgia Bulldogs. But they've got a tough schedule this year. They've got to go into Ole Miss.
SEC, and now with the playoff, you can be undefeated and lose in the playoff,
Yes.
and anything can,
and you can still make the
happen.
playoffs. But
Under 6 minutes to go now, and quarterback's going to keep it. And that QB is, I believe, number
that's
12, Campbell Clark, who's now
still fighting. He's a tough guy.
and he will get about, I guess we'll give him 4 on that run.
About 4. So it's going to be third and about medium for Atlantic Shores. Looking to get some of their younger guys' feet wet, get them in the game, get them some experience. Got to believe that Wayne Lance has been very happy with their this showing of their first game of the year. Probably the only 2 talking points that he will have for his team that went wrong is staying disciplined with the penalties. It's Campbell Clark, direct snap, and he's going to run this one and absolutely truck a guy over before he runs out of bounds. Wow. And it's going to be very close to the first down marker. And it looks like they're going to move the chains. First down.
Well, they had it marked at the 27, and he got to the 33, so that's going to be enough, yeah. 10 yards total his last 2 runs.
I mean, he trucked that guy over. I didn't exactly see who it was, but Campbell Clark having himself a day.
Really is.
We got about 4 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Atlantic Shores leads 48-0. Campbell Clark once again in at quarterback as he'll hand it off. And it'll be a gain of a couple yards, 2 to 3.
Just staying between the tackles here, just looking to salt this away.
Malcolm Forbes.
It's his first run of the night.
Yep. Second down as they keep running this clock.
Always good to get in the scoring column. And in Forbes' case last year, he had 8 catches for 130 yards and 3 touchdowns. So using him in a different role here tonight. Running the football.
Trips to the left. Campbell Clark rolls out, and it's like a speed option to the left, and he's going to get a couple yards before being met at about the 40-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short.
Now, somebody in our booth did have 48. You did have, I think somebody in our booth to my left had 48 on the predicted margin, or point.
My purely honest, I believe I had 48.
Yeah, but the opposition you had them with double figures, and I'm not sure they're going to get double figures with the clock almost evaporated at this point.
But my final score prediction.
But if we go we go with the margin here, I think yours truly here in the Red's going to.
We should have given our predictions at the beginning of the game so people would actually believe us, but it's tough to talk about teams like that. But We got a handoff here to number 4 once again, Malcolm Forbes. I did have him at 48, so there's a good chance that could stand.
I think it's probably going to at this point.
It's
Forbes
just
is going to get
unfortunate.
maybe a yard or two. I think he got 2 on that.
Yeah. I don't think Isle of Wight's going to get to that 13, though. In fact, I'm not sure. I don't think that they're going to get any points on the board tonight. It's too late in the game as that clock is running real quick with just about 90 seconds to go.
Given Chris Higgins and Micah Lance and Corey Elijah Williams, Jack Weaver, among other their mainstays. Even some of the linemen a bit of a rest in the second half.
Yep.
Knowing what's ahead for them coming up next week as they've got a matchup with Roanoke Catholic here at the Plex.
Campbell Clark hands it off once again. And Shores to pick up about 3 yards on the carry. Second down. With 46 seconds left. I think they might run one more play, and that'll be it. It's been a fun one, showcasing a lot of Atlantic Shore's explosive offense, and they've had great defensive play too, but got a little bit of a glimpse at the William & Mary commit, Chris Higgins, who had himself a very good first quarter, had the touchdown early, but as well as the rest of the receiving core, and Campbell Clark, who's been very busy offensively and defensively. A great showing for Atlantic Shores.
He's an X factor for them. I like what I saw out of him tonight, and he's going to make a play in multiple phases of the game.
As he'll be stuffed and nothing doing for this final play.
He lost the yards he just gained.
He lost the yards he just gained, and that's going to do it. Atlantic Shores is going to win this one 48-0. And a phenomenal showing for Coach Wayne Lance's Seahawks to start off this year for Atlantic Shores.
Well, it was that you pitch a shutout, which is always the objective for your defense. Offensively, they had the one giveaway, which came on a fumble, but they moved the ball with ease. They'll use more of the running game, but tonight they took their shots, and they got 5 different players to score through the air. Chris Higgins, Joshua Sibley, Christian Franks, Jack Weaver, their main bell cow in the backfield, and Corey Elijah Williams. And then defensively, they come up with 5 takeaways, getting some fumble recoveries, some INTs, a pick 6, which was nice for them as well. So it's a step in the right direction, and they'll build off this as they move forward because the schedule's going to get tougher from here. They got Roanoke Catholic coming up, Catholic on September 6th, and then the big one, North Cross, a revenge game on September 20th on the road. So there's going to be some areas they have to clean up, but all in all, it's a successful night for them.
Successful night. As for Isle of Wight, definitely going to have some room to improve. Definitely some stuff to build off of. Saw some nice little play out of some of their young guys, so hopefully they'll be able to get things rolling next week. But as for that, for me and Matt Hatfield, that's about all we got for you tonight. We appreciate you for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button as we got more and more content for you on Cova Sports TV, including tomorrow morning, 7:57 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young. That's going to do it for us, and we will see y'all next time.
Get ready for a season of thrills and excitement. Virginia Beach United invites you to experience the adrenaline of USL League 2 Pro Soccer. Tickets are only $10 for adults, $7 for kids, and children 5 and under are free. It's the perfect family outing filled with fun and entertainment. Secure your seats now for a season of unforgettable soccer moments with Virginia Beach United. Don't miss out.
As a banker at Town Bank, we believe that people bank with people, not with banks. You're looking for an actual personal relationship, and that's what you get at our bank. You get that person that gets to know you, gets to know your business, is there for you. I think that is what motivates us, what drives us, and the idea that we are trying to serve others and enrich lives, I think is very true.
At CHKD, sports medicine is more than just treating injuries. It's a whole team approach to caring for young athletes. With experienced physicians, surgeons, trainers, and rehab specialists here when kids and teens need them most. Our experts help young athletes prevent injuries too, with advanced training and conditioning programs that keep them in the game safely. CHKD Sports Medicine. where kids are more than patients and we're